Oh my god, that person is so drowning right now.
There's two of them.
Oh, just when we thought we couldn't get any worse.
Oh, she went under. Oh my god. Someone's getting pulled out of the water. In front of the jet ski.
Reports have come in that a lady has been dragged out of the water unconscious. I'm down the southern end of the beach in the Can-Am, and I've got to work my way through a really thick crowd along the shoreline. When you hear that come across the radio, so many things are going through your head. Are they breathing? Have they broken their neck?
Lifeguards are desperate for information, but the woman can hardly speak.
For me, it's a process of elimination and building up a case profile of the history that led up to the event.
Hey, I just want to get on the radio update. She's taking in some water.
The woman from Iran is accompanied by her sister.
Does she have a condition?
Yeah, she has arrhythmia.
Heart arrhythmia is an irregular heartbeat, causing the heart to beat too slow or too fast. Then, new information is revealed.
Peter, in a forehead, right?
We're in a forehead?
Yes.
Yeah, so we might be treating it for a spinal. Yeah, so we'll just try and support her head. All right.
She was in the recovery position, just conscious, eyes pretty much closed, very laboured breathing.
The two sisters have recently migrated to Australia.
She was from Iran, so we didn't understand what she was saying. We were lucky that her sister was there to interpret what she was actually saying.
She might vomit. There you go. Bondi incident to Central. Probably call an ambo. He's taken a bit of water and potentially been hit by a surfboard, so could have knocked herself out.
Copy.
Why did she faint all of a sudden?
She could have been knocked out.
Yeah, from the blow.
Could be a concussion.
My God.
Lifeguards are still unsure. Did the woman lose consciousness due to her heart condition or from the surfboard hitting her head?
Okay, so when did she blank out?
No. Yeah, she was okay, sort of, but like a minute after, she fainted.
She fainted.
Yeah.
Get knocked out, maybe.
Yeah, she could be a spinal.
The lifeguards got notified that there was a lady being dragged out of the water. Looks like she's been knocked out. She's conscious breathing, but they're treating it as a suspected spinal.
Finally, a man sheds light on the situation.
So I was in the sea and I saw the woman. She started to doesn't feel well and she fell down in the water. So I just pulled her out and tracked to the beach.
Okay, so what I want you to ask her, and get her to squeeze your hands, so we'll get her in this position. So we know she's safe.
No. Push her with it, that's it.
Bring both arms around for us, sweetheart.
Push her with it.
Squeeze nice and hard. Yeah, she's got strength there, yeah.
The two women were swimming outside of the flags in an area where surfing is permitted. After stabilising the woman, lifeguards hand over to paramedics.
Do you have any pain at the moment anyway? I'm going to push down here. Does that feel the same, better or different as the front? Any pain down here? We got another crew coming down here as well, just to help us get her off the beach here. Okay.
Further assessments will be conducted at hospital.
Yeah, so this here is Gavin, so we're just going to roll when Gavin wants to and whatnot. If everyone's happy with that. Let's make this off.
1, 2, 3.
The paramedics have taken her to hospital. I have my suspicions that it was just a concussion, but I hope she's okay and it wasn't a suspected spinal.
I'll go for this little bit away.
One woman is barely standing, but Chapo passes her to reach two other people farther out. The pair from Korea will be difficult to bring in at once. Jackson holds firm in the buggy.
As much as he probably does need a hand, we got to keep a few of us on the beach here, because if something was to happen down south, then there's just no one here. We've got to be careful with taking too many of us off the beach because you can get caught out, and there's two over here.
Jackson notices 2 more people in a separate rip, but must collect another rescue board.
Yeah, there's 2 in backpackers, they're sitting on. Yeah, mate, there's some panic on Hoppo, looks like he's heading over. Is he heading over? I don't think he's got the message. Yeah, go.
Hoppo offloads the 2 young Koreans in shallow water.
They were right on the shore, and I just thought they'd be fine.
But seconds later, and the pair have walked back into the deep water of the rip.
They weren't fine, so I had to go get them a bit closer to shore, and that took more time.
The situation stops Hoppo from getting to the 2 other people farther out.
I had to go and make another rescue because I could hear these 2 big guys drowning behind me, screaming.
Struggling to understand Hoppo's instruction, the pair think he is asking them to get back on the board.
I just thought they'd let go.
Seeing the situation, Mario arrives from the north end.
I thought I'd jump on. Mario, they're both going for it. As we're getting closer, a surfer got these 2 people.
Thank you, darling.
As they were going under, so quick.
One of you come here.
I could see that they were in big trouble, and I wasn't surprised they were completely exhausted.
I was paddling the guy in, and he was so scared that he crossed himself. He thought he was dying.
Yeah, brother, this is not the swimming pool. Just be careful, alright? Yeah.
Neither of the men were prepared for the strength of the rip.
I thought it was like joke for beginning, but end of that I found that I don't know, like it was not joke, funny something.
At risk of being overwhelmed by inexperienced swimmers, lifeguards break out the big guns.
So the jet ski on a day like this is fantastic. It really keeps all lifeguards on the beach. The jet ski then does all the rescues, and it's rare then a board has to go in.
Within minutes of launching, Jake is called to action.
There's about 30 people in that rip out the back of the flags.
All right, everyone, go in, please. Help us out. Look how many people we got here. We don't need you all out here. If you can't swim, please go back to shore. Thank you.
I think I was in the water for about 20 or 30 seconds before I was like picking up swimmers off the back of the flags.
Yeah. Get on.
Just seconds earlier, these swimmers were standing in shallow water.
They were just getting pulled off the back of the sandbank and they all just sort of clambered on.
It's got 5.
Keep it all. Keep an eye on that. Hold on to me, all right?
About 4 more hands just went up. One of you guys has to go.
4 swimmers hang off the ski.
Go, get off.
Out the back, more are in trouble. Sensing a potentially disastrous situation, Hoppo moves to a cover position.
There's like 30 people over there. Let's do some mass rescue right now.
Then at the north end, lifeguards spot a woman struggling in a rip.
She's starting to panic a bit.
This one sort of caught us off guard, and when we put our eyes on the rip that she was in, she was going under, and it was one of those moments where you're like, where's the lifeguards? Everyone's pretty far away, and she's in dire straits.
Yourself up all the way. Hold on.
Loaded with swimmers, Jake can't leave his position.
Hold on. We got Hoppo's there.
The boys have spotted a woman in the rip and she's really struggling.
The situation has also caught the attention of volunteer lifesavers.
I'm in, mate. He's going.
and we're like, come on, mate, put some big paddles in because this chick, seriously, she's going down.
Oh my god, that person is so drowning right now.
There's two of them.
Just when we thought we couldn't get any worse, there's 2 more heads in the same rip and they weren't looking good either.
Oh my god.
Where did they even come from? So we've got 3 people now needing help. We've got 1 jet ski in the water and lifeguards scattered everywhere.
Oh, she went under. Oh my god. Go, mate.
From the tower, it's one of the scariest things as a lifeguard because you're watching someone drown and it goes in slow motion at the time the buggies get into that person and you're literally sitting there helpless watching them sink.
Oh my god.
By the time Hoppo was radioed to go in and he was paddling out, I'd seen it from there. You just got to get there as quick as possible.
On the way out, a good Samaritan is helping one of the struggling men. He desperately calls for Hoppo to help his friend further out.
So when I got to the guy, it was choppy conditions. He was panicking, but his concern wasn't about himself. It was more about the other woman.
At the back of the rip, a young surfer and a volunteer lifesaver have saved the woman's life.
That kid just saved that chick's life.
Yeah, right.
Jake arrives for the pickup.
All right, Jake's there.
Hoppo collects the man.
We got her. Yeah, she's got her. We've got her. Get on.
She wasn't the best swimmer and she'd been sort of fighting that rib.
Hey, yeah.
She wasn't in a good way. She was a bit distressed when I got to her.
Jump on the mat. Yeah.
Even once all the resources arrive and you think the scenario is over, someone who's been fighting a rip for a minute that can't really swim, they've completely fatigued and there could be a rescue board right in front of them and they just can't grab it. So all of a sudden the rescue's not over.
Hold on.
So that's it. Holy shit. Got it,
Yeah, jump off.
Saving someone's life, wrangling a jet ski and managing that all at once, that hats off to him. He's done a great job.
You can even hear the panic on Hop's face. He goes, yep, I'm in.
I've never heard Hop panic. I've never heard Hop panic. That was one of the first times I've heard Hoppo just wing it. Yeah, boys, I'm in. Once you hear Hop start wigging out, start stressing and even running, that's when you know it's serious.
Attention all swimmers, hey guys, it's very dangerous today. Please move north into the middle of the red and yellow flags for us, please.
A storm in the Tasman Sea has whipped up a powerful swell.
Yeah, let's just take it a line strip out of the flags and put them in a bit of a hole.
Will and Joel support rookie Noah.
Yeah, guys, usually out there, just keep moving in, don't come across, come straight back to shore, please.
Undeterred by the stormy conditions, the swimmers have little idea just how treacherous Bondi is today.
Yeah, I can see a situation that's becoming pretty dangerous pretty quickly. For an adult out there, they're generally okay because it's only sort of waist-depth water, but there's a bunch of schoolgirls down there. The water's like rapids, so it's gone from being relatively safe and okay to a bit of a situation on our hands.
Several people are now in trouble, but there are just 3 lifeguards on hand.
I think someone needs to go there, guys. She's got her hand up.
Yeah, copy.
Originally, I thought I was just driving down to be an extra set of eyes of the flags, and all of a sudden I've got a mass rescue on my hands.
Will uses the megaphone to direct swimmers away from the rip.
Girls out the back, walk towards the flags, please.
Yet more people are being pulled from the shore by the rip, but Joel focuses on a mum cradling her young son.
You alright?
He's managed to get the mother and her son on board who are frantically panicking. You can tell they just want to get in there, but he's had to then keep them on the board and try and get the 2 others who are in distress.
Go out that one out the back. Tube, just go.
As Noah backs up, one of the exhausted girls fights her way onto the board, leaving her friend out of reach.
I was really struggling to drag my way across to this girl and just try and grab her hand so I could pull her over. But she's just getting smashed by these waves in the back and they keep pushing her under, and she did disappear for a second, and I was really worried. It was such a relief, get a visual on the patient.
Finally, Joel has everyone on his board.
I've got 4 people on my board. I've just got to do my best just to try and fight this rip and get across that sandbank. If one of these girls came off, we were right in this rip and they'd just be gone.
getting the four back to shore against that rip is difficult. Luckily, Joel's got the strength to do it.
Once we got there, it was a really good feeling, and they were all really, really relieved to be back on the sand.
Hats off to Joel for that one. That was impressive.